Hello, I'm Beth Narvaez, and it is my honor to be your DoDEA Director. I'd like to take a little time today to talk about my values as a leader, my current priorities. I'd like to talk about some future plans, and of course, I have many things for us to celebrate, some wonderful recent achievements that have been accomplished across DoDEA. So first, when you're a new leader, people want to know what you're about. What are the things that you value? And I'd like to share with you the 3 values that are really foundational to my leadership and guide the decisions that I make as the director of DoDEA. First, leadership matters. Some of you know my DoDEA story, and I joined DoDEA because I believe so deeply that leadership matters. And I joined in 2016 when DoDEA was starting the Centers for Instructional Leadership. And this was after I had a whole career as a teacher, a principal, a superintendent. And I really learned through those positions how much a great leader meant to having a great school. And so I said, with the startup of those Centers for Instructional Leadership in DoDEA, DoDEA gets it. They understand how important leadership is, and they're investing in real ways. And I want to say to all of you that leadership is not positional, right? We all can lead where we are, and your leadership matters each and every day for the instructional improvement that we need to make to have the best schools that our students deserve. The second value is that we are better together. We have seen this time and time again in DoDEA, whether we navigated together a global pandemic or whether we stood up a universal pre-kindergarten program in 1 year, opening 250 classrooms in 80 schools across our school system. When we rally around a common goal, we truly can accomplish things that we thought were not possible. We are better together. And last, and certainly not least, we exist to serve and support schools. So this is my commitment to you. That is what I say to all of us that work above school level, right? We exist to serve and support schools and not the other way around. So our commitment is to look to take things off of the plates of principals and teachers that take you away from your core business of teaching and learning. Now, I ask something of you as well, because you exist to serve and support our classrooms and our students. That is, we work to take things off of your plate, that you really do focus your attention on the things that matter most for student achievement. So we exist to serve and support schools. You exist to serve and support our classrooms and our students. So those are the 3 values that I use to lead by. Let me talk about my priorities for this school year. Again, 3 priorities. The first is the teacher hiring project. We all know that the greatest asset for improving student achievement is the teacher in the classroom. And we have worked really hard to make sure that all of our teachers are in classrooms on day 1 of the school year. We have done that by looking at all of our hiring processes and practices. We've moved back our hiring timeline to make sure we have enough time for folks to go through the hiring process and to move overseas or move to their location and get where they need to be, so they are there on day 1 of the school year. We've also just upgraded our processes so that we are taking a look and tracking those vacancies school by school by school, again, to great effect. So 2 years ago, when we opened our schools up to start the school year, we had 88% of our teachers in classrooms on day 1. This school year, when we opened our doors and welcomed our students, 95% of our teachers were in classrooms with 98% selected. It's really a great achievement, great example of how we are better together. The second priority this year is UPK. You already heard me talk about the amazing accomplishment to open up 250 classrooms in 80 of our 90 elementary schools. We really rallied together to make sure that we could make that happen. We could outfit all of those classrooms. We could hire our teachers and our aides and be ready for our youngest learners. It's truly a transformation of our system. We are no longer a K-12 school system. We are now a pre-K through 12 school system. And our work this year is to continue to work together to ensure quality implementation of the educational program for our youngest learners, our 4-year-olds. Third priority is multi-tiered systems of support, or MTSS. And we have put our stakes in the ground around what we mean in DoDEA when we say MTSS. We have named 4 critical components to this work. The first is core instruction. That is the foundation of our work. It will always be part of the fabric of who we are. You know that we have to ensure that excellent core instruction. It's been our focus for the past 10 years. It will continue to be our focus. However, we know that despite excellent core instruction, there are always some students who are going to need some additional support to get there, to meet those high standards we've set for them. And so interventions need to be a part of that work. Third piece is that we use data to inform our decision making and to understand student progress, to understand if students need those interventions and to understand their progress while using those interventions. And last but not least, none of us does this work alone. It is teams and team-based leadership that makes this all happen in schools, whether it's a student support team or a focused collaboration team or a continuous school improvement team. You work to pull all of these important pieces together to make sure we keep our promise of excellence in education for every student, every day, everywhere. MTSS in DoDEA is really about that every student promise. But let me go back to that foundation of excellent core instruction. We see that paying off in many, many ways in terms of our student achievement and accomplishment. The first I would like to recognize is the AP Honor Roll. So last year, the College Board came to DoDEA and said, hey, you've made the AP Honor Roll. And we said, okay, that's nice. What's the AP Honor Roll? Is it like a participation trophy? Does everybody get it who offers AP? And that is not the case. There is some stringent criteria to make the AP Honor Roll. They look at 3 things. First, the percentage of students who take AP classes in a high school. Second, the percent of students who achieve a 3 or better, which is a score to get college credit. And then the last piece is that they look at the percentage of students who get this, take at least 5 AP classes in their high school career, and 1 has to be in the 9th or 10th grade. Right? It's some pretty stringent criteria to make the AP Honor Roll. And they have different levels of recognition, the highest being platinum. This year, 39 of 39 eligible high schools in DoDEA made the AP Honor Roll. Nationally last year, only 1/3 of high schools made the Honor Roll. We're seeing 100% of our high schools make the AP Honor Roll. And there's even more. 28 of our schools were recognized at the highest level of platinum. And this is an increase, and I can't believe this happened. Schools, teachers, students, families, this is just such great work. This is up from 16 platinums last year. So we've gone from 16 schools being recognized as platinum on the AP Honor Roll to 28 this year. Congratulations, and thank you for all of your hard work to make sure that our students have access to rigorous and challenging courses. The recognitions don't stop there. We have 3 blue ribbon schools, and I would like to congratulate Alconbury Elementary, Robinson Barracks Elementary, and West Point Elementary. Congratulations for this wonderful recognition for your outstanding student achievement. Well deserved to all of you. we not only had a blue ribbon school, or 3 blue ribbon schools, excuse me, we also had a green ribbon school. And this is in recognition of a school who has set an amazingly high bar for environmental and energy efficiency, as well as for creating numerous wellness opportunities for students. And that honor went to Humphreys Central Elementary School. I had the honor of being with them in Washington, D.C. this past summer when they received their award. And again, congratulations on a job well done, and keep up the great work. We had a district recognized through last year's accreditation process. So you know, Cognia is our accrediting organization. Last year, they visited over 1,900 schools and school districts, and they recognized only 60. That's about 3%. So the top 3% of schools that they accredited were recognized as systems of distinction, and our very own Europe South district was recognized by Cognia as a system of distinction. Again, congratulations for this recognition, and it is a testament to all of the hard work you have put in place for continuous improvement of teaching and learning in your schools. Well done. Speaking of Cognia, we recently had a case study written about DoDEA, right? After we got some recognition for our NAEP scores, folks came and asked us, well, you know, what are you doing, DoDEA? How are you getting these great results in terms of student achievement? And NCEE, the National Center of Education and the Economy, came to us and they asked us, you know, what are you doing? At the same time, they wanted an outside objective perspective. And so they reached out to Cognia. Cognia knows DoDEA well. They've been our partner in the accreditation business for many years. But as I just mentioned, they also accredit thousands of other schools and school systems. They know quality schools and school systems. So the researcher writing this case study reached out to Cognia and said, you know schools, you know DoDEA. What is it about DoDEA? What sets them apart? Why are they getting such great results? And Daryl Behringer, who is our lead person on the accreditation team, said to them, there is no system hungrier for feedback or quicker to act on the recommendations. DoDEA is committed to continuous improvement. And then the NCEE folks called the case study DoDEA, the relentless improver. It's pretty great, right? It's pretty great to be known not only for outstanding results in terms of student achievement, but also to be known for your relentless continuous improvement efforts. So just another point of pride, and something I want you to hold in your head as we talk about future plans for DoDEA. So I try to get to about 40 schools a year. You know I'm a school person. Being in schools energizes me like no other place. And so I work really hard to get out and to see all of your great work in action. And I've made a number of trips already this school year. And I'm trying to be very intentional when I make those visits about elevating excellence. It is so wonderful to see all of your work. I get to meet such wonderful students and teachers and staff and leaders and parents and commanders everywhere I go. But sometimes there are just things that are above and beyond that catch my eye, that I want to highlight because these are practices that I would like to see everywhere in DoDEA, to see in all of our schools. So I call this elevating excellence. And I want to share with you the recent folks that I have honored on my trips that truly exemplify excellence in our organization. So the first was that I awarded director's coins to Ms. Charisse Appling, a special education teacher, and her colleague, Ms. Elizabeth Spalding, who's an English teacher at Fort Knox Middle High School. I honored their work for excellence in co-teaching, the partnership they had established to work together to support all of the students, to make sure all of the students in their care have access to grade level content was truly outstanding. The second group that I was able to honor for their excellence was Ms. Taylor Dugan and Ms. Nicole Benjamin from Brussels American School. And I honored them for their high quality implementation of universal pre-K. So for pre-K now, it is universal, but really it's just what we do. But the setup of their classroom, the learning environment, the interactions the students were having with one another, the interactions they were having with the students just exemplified the quality pre-K that we want to see everywhere in DoDEA. I also honored Mr. David Butler from headquarters for his work on universal pre-kindergarten. He served as the project manager that brought all of us together across the organization, whether it was folks across headquarters divisions, our colleagues in the field who worked so hard to stand up all those classrooms in all of those schools this past year. So he also received the Director's Coin for that excellent work. And last but not least, I recently was in Guam and was able to visit our 4 wonderful schools there. And I awarded a Director's Coin to Ms. Cynthia Barcinas for her outstanding use of AI with her students. So, she's really pushing the frontiers of the future with this work. And she had her students grade AI. So they were really learning to separate out quality information from misinformation and to understand that AI doesn't always give us the best product. She also uses it to give timely feedback to students. Again, a practice that we know is so essential for student learning. So it is just my pleasure to see such excellent work in our classrooms and schools. And these folks were called out for practices that, again, truly were exemplary and I hope spread to all of our classrooms and schools throughout DoDEA. Speaking of excellence, we had our Teachers of the Year here at the Mark Center in September, and I always love greeting them. They bring such energy and expertise to the Mark Center. It is just unparalleled and so wonderful to honor and to celebrate them. And at this time, we announced our DoDEA Teacher of the Year, and I would like to congratulate and highlight Ms. Susan Harris Boring from Kaiserslautern Middle School. She has a profound belief that every student deserves to feel valued and respected, and she truly goes above and beyond in creating an environment that encourages both personal and academic growth. Just an inspiration to us all. So when I'm out and about, I also have had the privilege of doing some ribbon cuttings for 2 of our new 21st century school buildings. So it was just wonderful to open the doors to Van Voorhees Elementary and Brussels Unit School, just stunning buildings. And when I have been able to speak at these events, I've been talking about how important these buildings are in creating the learning environment that we need for our students to thrive in the 21st century. I've been talking about these buildings as the third teacher, right? We know the human teacher is the first teacher. The second teacher, of course, is the students. We learn with and through each other. But that school building is the third teacher, where we create in our 21st century school buildings environments that help to facilitate the skills that our students need to be successful in their futures. Skills such as flexibility, skills such as collaboration, communication, problem solving. And again, these schools are purpose-built to help make that kind of learning happen. And I'm really excited to announce that we anticipate opening new school buildings next school year in 25-26, Fort Campbell Middle School, Quantico Middle High School, and Sembach Elementary. I look forward to joining you when we open the doors of those new schools. And I'm also really excited to announce that we also have 12 projects in construction and 20 more in the planning and design phase. Again, a testament to our investment in our students and our staff, because these beautiful buildings designed to enhance learning really do make a difference in terms of student achievement. Speaking of new things happening across DoDEA, I have an important announcement to make about a new program. So kind of everywhere I went, I would hear teachers requesting that we have a transfer program again, a transfer round. And I am pleased to announce that I am reinstating what we are calling the Worldwide Reassignment Program. I'm doing this because I have seen the benefit when we have had folks move from one region to another or one district to another. They just bring their expertise and share that expertise, and they push us to be better. They say, you know, when I was in the Pacific, we did that. I hope we can do that in the Americas, or in the Americas, I did this. Can we do that in Europe? So it helps us to spread that innovation, but it also helps us be more consistent in our excellent approaches. And so I really think that the Worldwide Reassignment Program can be a great benefit to us as an organization. So the next steps are to negotiate the impact and the implementation of this program with our FEA and OFT partners. And once that step is complete, we will come back to you with all of the details on the Worldwide Reassignment Program. Just last piece, I've talked a lot about my current priorities and values, honored some great accomplishments that have recently occurred across DoDEA, and have given you a sneak peek about a couple of new things that are going to happen in the organization, from opening new school buildings to the Worldwide Reassignment Program. But I want you to also think about the future with me. We have something called the Blueprint for Continuous Improvement. It's our strategic plan. It's been a key to our success. And our current blueprint sunsets this year. So we have an incredible opportunity together to ensure that DoDEA is a future-ready organization. And more importantly, we have the chance to make sure that our students are prepared for the future of their choice. This is the opportunity for us to lean in and to lead. We can lean into the excellence that we have created in terms of student achievement, but also we can lead and we can innovate by offering some new opportunities that our students will need to be prepared for their futures. So I invite you all to be a part of the creation of this blueprint. Your voice matters, and we're going to be doing some outreach to you to gather your input to understand, where do we need to continue to lean in and where do we need to lead in order to innovate and take DoDEA to the next level. So we want to hear from you. I hope this update has been useful for you. I hope you're feeling well informed and that you're inspired to continue to take action to meet our promise of excellence in education for every student, every day, everywhere. And I am sincere in my hope that you will reach out to me, share your ideas about how we can continue to sustain excellence, and again, prepare for the future of DoDEA. Thank you so much. Continue to do the great work you're doing, and thank you for all that you do.
Do you have a question for the director? If so, we want to hear from you. Visit DoDEA Connects to submit your question today.